The UK and European Union have been warned they quickly need to find a reasonable landing zone to break the continued stalemate in post-Brexit trade talks, with the threat of a no-deal outcome now becoming a very real possibility. Negotiations on trade and the future partnership following Brexit began in March, with the two sides attempting to strike a deal involving several elements, including fishing access, the EU's level playing field, state aid and financial services. Boris Johnson refused to extend the Brexit transition period beyond December 31, leaving just a matter of months to get an agreement over the line. But following 7 rounds of Brexit talks between the UK and EU, including the latest set of negotiations in Brussels this week, little progress has been made, with the threat of a no-deal outcome increasing all the time. Both negotiating teams, led by Michel Barnier for the EU and David Frost for the UK, have blamed each other for the repeated stalemates and lashed out at the other's negotiating stances on several key red lines. Speaking prior to the conclusion of the latest round of talks in the Belgian capital, Alex de Ryer, politics professor at Birmingham City University and director at the Centre for Brexit Studies, warned a no-deal outcome is now a very real possibility. He urged both sides to do everything possible to avoid this scenario and come to terms on a mutually beneficial agreement, but warned the UK pushing too hard to achieve all of its objectives could see the EU walking away from the negotiating table. Professor de Ruyter told Express.co.uk, "It's tautological to state that if we can't agree a deal then there will be no deal. In any case, both sides know that this is a real risk in the present talks. The purpose of these is to find a mutually beneficial situation that is better for both sides than no deal. Negotiations are exactly that, they involve give and take on both sides and you should never expect to achieve all of your objectives. What is needed is a deal that is mutually beneficial, i.e. it is better for both sides than no deal at all. Ultimately, although these are tough negotiations, they are not a competition. The aim is to come up with something that is win-win, but I still think a no-deal outcome is a very real possibility, particularly given that the UK government was unwilling to extend the transition period after December 31, so leaving very little time for negotiation. But he warned, if the UK tries to achieve 100% of its objectives then there certainly will be no deal because the EU will walk away and vice versa.